Okay, I am so excited to be here today. Thank you so much, Michael, for being with us. Michael, is
Thanks
it
so much for
Cater
the
or
invitation.
Cotter? Sorry.
Yeah, Cotter, it's correct.
Cotter. Okay, Michael Cotter, CEO and owner of Compass Tours, who is based in Munich. So again, thank you very much for taking the time. And I would love it if you could just give kind of a brief overview of your background. You, of course, know Germany really well, but better coming from you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Annie. Again, thanks for the invitation here. My name is Michael Carter. I'm the managing partner of Compass Tours Incoming and Unique Germany. Both are DMCs in Germany.
We're talking in December, and of course, Christmas markets are always going to be a reason that people book trips to Germany. But why do you think travelers love the German market so much?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the Christmas markets are very much missed this year. And also, I have to admit, me personally, missing that. And I think it stands for, for the German Gemütlichkeit, for the coziness. You have that mug of hot red mulled wine, the Glühwein, and you listen to the Christmas songs. And I mean, just talking about that, I can smell the cinnamon in the air, and you have the stalls and the lights and all that, and it gets dark, and then they switch on the lights, etc.
Do you think, is there something that you buy at Christmas markets every year, or?
You mean something special I buy at the?
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course. I mean, first of course, we have to talk about the Glühwein again. I mean, Glühwein is the key to German Christmas, to the entire experience. Yeah, and traditionally, of course, people drink the red one. I mean, you have red and white, right? So people just drink. Usually, they just drink the red one.
Yeah.
And my suggestion is to really go for the white one. The white one usually has much less sugar, less headache.
Yeah.
Is sweet, but it's not that. It's not that drastical sweet. So really go for that one. Then there is also something what is called Feuerzangenbowle. It's so hard to explain. It's a red wine punch, similar to Glühwein. Just try it once. Don't drink more than one, because it contains much more alcohol. So just try it a little, just one, and then go back to the Glühwein. And on the food side, I would say the roasted almonds are a classical thing, and I would always suggest look for those stalls who roast the almonds on site. And you can, I mean, you smell that, and you can see that this rotating thing where, and you can see it and smell it, etc. And then, of course, finally, more for the hearty side, the bratwurst. I mean, it's a cliche, but really, I mean, this for me is going to the Christmas market. I usually walk with my family once around or through the entire market, and I have a look on the stalls. And then on the second round, then I decide, okay, we have a bratwurst there, or we have a Glühwein there.
You look at everything, you check it out before.
Right.
Nice.
And I usually have 2 bratwurst per market.
But that's a great tip. 2 bratwurst per market. I like that. No, I think I totally agree with everything you're saying. And I didn't even actually know. I've only had red Glühwein. So I need to have the white one. That's
absolutely. Yeah.
And are there any particular markets that are your favorites, or do you?
Yeah, well, there are several ones. In Heidelberg is one which is really great, but I have to talk about Heidelberg later on. In Erfurt, the Christmas market has a tradition of, I think, of more than 150 years. So that's something what you definitely should not miss. And then there is in Würzburg and Wiesbaden, and the one in Rostock, especially in the north. So whenever you think about Rostock is also close to Lübeck, and this is a great combination. And this is something what definitely makes sense. But there's one on my list I have not done yet in Osnabrück.
Okay.
Osnabrück has the largest, how they call it, a Christmas music box.
Yeah.
You know, the small ones are about that size, and you put them on the table and you put a candle, and then it rotates a little bit through the hot air. And they have the world's largest music box. I don't know how many meters.
Cool.
And that's on my to-do list for, I mean, I had it for this year, but unfortunately this is not working out. But I have it on my list for next year.
That's awesome. Yeah, I want to go. That's actually, I didn't know about that. Very cool. Yeah. Well, so, I mean, of course, you love getting off the beaten path in Germany, where you live in Munich, and of course, from popular cities like Berlin. So do you keep a running list of things you want to do, or how do you keep track of that?
Just talking about Augsburg. Augsburg is the home of the Fugger family, and the Fugger family was the world's richest family in the Middle Ages. Oh. They built an incredible empire just on business, and they tried to the amount of money they had, or the gold, they tried to convert what it would mean. I mean, you know, in our years, but they failed because it would be much more than Bill Gates has or whatever. And the family is still there. I mean, they still have, I mean, they are not any longer the world's richest family, but they, over these centuries, they have built great buildings. And so this is really something what I would recommend. And the film studios in Babelsberg, which is in Potsdam. Potsdam is close to Berlin. Definitely makes sense to combine that. Potsdam itself is very nice, and I've been there lots of times already. Whenever I'm in Berlin, I try to combine that, but I never made it into that film studio, which is Europe's oldest and still largest film studio. So they have incredible, how do you call it? I mean, artificial streets and house walls and all that. And finally on my list, in Bonn, the former capital of Germany, they have something like, they call it Haus der Geschichte, the House of German History. And you know, when I tell that to my kids, I mean, I can hear them already saying, "Oh, Dad, this sounds quite boring," but it's not. It's far from boring. It's about the history after 1945 until more or less until today. Yeah. And it's very lively. It's very interactive. It's about the 50s, 60s. You see entire living rooms, how they looked in the past, about how was Germany in the 70s, you know, when all the student riots came up, etc. How was it in the 80s, etc. And for whatever reason, I missed that museum so far, and this is something what I have on my list as well.
Well, the good thing is, I mean, I feel like the more places that you add to your list, the bigger the world gets. Like right. If you don't check things off, you find other things, right? So yeah, I think that's
also, that's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Because this will be over one day, and we will be back at Christmas markets and traveling. Right. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And
thank you so much for your time.
Yes, inside look at Germany, which I'm ready to go again. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.